Yeah, I mean, I don't think we certainly don't put an emphasis on it. I think we're out here trying to bunt right now, so I think if the run environment allows us to homer, we'll homer, and I think if not, then we got to play small ball, and I think that's that's true now. It's going to be true moving forward, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to try to score.
Is there any way that you guys can get a handle on the home run not being a big part of what guys have been able to do since the All-Star game here?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's certainly something that we've had to make an adjustment on. I think the wind's blowing in quite a bit this second half, and I think it's something that we've had to try to be more creative in the way to score runs, and certainly have been good at times and not good at times. So I think these last 2 weeks of the year, really trying to find ways to create offense.
How Owen's doing today after this week?
Yeah, he's better today. He's still symptomatic though, so I think we haven't got a final diagnosis yet, but we'll wait and see when the doctors finally come up with a decision.
What's Saya?
Saya's still sick, so he's still under the weather. So yeah.
Did you think coming to Pittsburgh?
Well, probably got about 7 hours to the bus leave, so we have to improve before then, but we'll wait and see on that.
Are you concerned this illness could affect other players?
Well, I think it's been one of the reasons we've kept him away from the team, and he hasn't been around the team. So hopefully isolate him, and he'll be better here hopefully today.
Are you a scoreboard watcher this time of year?
You can't not be a scoreboard watcher at Wrigley Field with how big it is in center field. So I mean, I think everyone looks at the beautiful scoreboard here.
Do you watch any scores when you leave?
When I leave, not totally, but that's one of the things with the day games is usually the teams are playing after us. So at nighttime, not really. If there's a game going on in the middle of our game, I think of course everyone's staring up there at some point.
What do you see with Pete right now? And obviously, we know he helps the team win every day, regardless whether he's hitting or not. But the frustration level appears to be relatively high.
Yeah, I mean, I think you go to appreciate what someone like Kyle Tucker's been able to do, and I think where Pete's at in his career, being resilient. I mean, there's been times he's been high, and success isn't just linear, and I think we're seeing that with Pete. And like you mentioned in your question, I think his ability to play defense and base run has really kept him afloat during this, and really tried to emphasize with Pete to try to put his focus on that. While clearly he's working through things offensively, so he's going through it right now. I think he'd admit that, and but what he does for the team defensively and with his feet changes the game.
As you just mentioned or alluded to, you want to make sure it doesn't impact the rest of his game if he's not hitting, right?
Of course. Defense doesn't slump, and put an emphasis on playing good defense, and he's done that the whole year, and yeah.
As you guys get down to the final few games here of the regular season, what kind of have you learned about this team, especially in the second half, different levels of success, both as a team and with individual guys?
Yeah, I mean, I just think with some of the players who've been out with Tucker and Saya now and Pete, I think some of the underappreciated guys like Dansby and Nico have really kept this team afloat, and certainly the pitching's held their own in the second half of the season. I see what those starters have done. The bullpen's come together. The first half it felt like it was the Tucker and Pete and Saya show, and the second half a lot of the unheralded guys have really kept this team and put us in the position we're in right now, and that shouldn't go unnoticed.
Does that give you guys a level of confidence going into what you hope is a long run in October?
Yeah, there's no doubt the roster's very deep, and I think the ability to put all that together moving forward the last 2 weeks of the year, still two big weeks left, and some of the parts the last 2 weeks, and get this thing going.
Any update on Soroka?
His next outing is going to be with the team. So when that is, we'll see. But the next outing is going to be with us. Palencia's playing catch today, and hopefully he's going to be able to throw off a mound tomorrow. So,
would you be surprised if this team doesn't have 3 to 6 Gold Glove winners on it at the end of the year?
I haven't really thought about it a ton, but I mean, I think, the way the organization prioritizes defense and run prevention, I mean, I don't think there's many times that we sacrifice putting a bat over the defense out there. So there's certainly a big emphasis on it. I think a lot of it's player driven. They take a lot of pride in playing good defense, and so the number, I think you could say there could be 9 of them, honestly.